Feeding yourself every day might sound simple, but as my therapist likes to remind me, simple isn't the same thing as easy. Navigating mealtimes with a history of disordered eating and a lifetime of undiagnosed neurodivergence has been anything but simple, especially since becoming a mom. But now that I'm responsible for feeding not only myself, but two small humans every single day, multiple times a day, I figured it was time to finally climb this mountain, break it down, make it less scary, and maybe even turn it into something I actually enjoy. Anyway, if you're new to the concept of Project Pantry, it's a challenge within the low impact or zero waste community that encourages you to use up what you already have before buying more. And while I love it for its sustainability and cost-saving perks, my real goal is just to fall in love with cooking again, or at least struggle less with it. To make it less daunting, I'll be tackling one small area of my kitchen at a time throughout a series of videos, starting with my freezer.
Okay, so now we've talked about overarching goals. Let's talk about more specifics when it comes to the freezer and the foodstuffs that are in here and what I want to get through this week. There are so many things like this mochi. There's one little mochi left in here. There are so many boxes and things like that where there's just one left of something. So I think this top shelf right here is a pretty good spot so that throughout the week we can just use up those little one-off things, get them out of here, be done with that. My bag of veggie scraps, I'm gonna make a broth with this tomorrow. It's a little late in the day to do it today. I also found some pizza crusts in there. We eat a frozen pizza, a freezer pizza, probably like once a week. So I got cauliflower crust like months ago thinking that, we're gonna be healthy, and we're not. We haven't been healthy, but I do have the ingredients to make a sauce, and we have some mozzarella in there so we can make our own pizza here. So I'm going to make a list for myself and put it on the fridge of what it is that I'm making this week and what it is that I want to prep for tomorrow. And then tomorrow morning I want to start doing my meal prep, and then hopefully from Tuesday on it'll be pretty smooth sailing throughout the week.
If we haven't met before, hi there, I'm Kaylee, and welcome to The Maiden Mother, a cozy hub where I'm teaching myself the art of everyday magic. If that sounds like your cup of tea, I'd really love for you to subscribe and join me, because honestly, the main reason I started this channel was just to make new friends. While working through my own project pantry, I want to stay mindful about removing, or at least reframing, any feelings of judgment that come up. Feeding myself regularly is challenging enough without layering on guilt or shame about food waste or eating habits. So I'm approaching this project like I'm an anthropologist studying my own life, just observing habits, behaviors, and patterns around food that can help me see how I actually live and what I really need from my fridge, freezer, and my pantry. My hope is that this more accepting approach will help me make better choices in the future while also healing my relationship with food, meal prep, and just feeding myself in general. For starters, seeing a lot of frozen, prepared meals like chicken tenders pizza and Uncrustables, it wasn't my favorite, but seeing that showed me that I value convenience right now. They're easy, my kids will actually eat them. So moving forward, I want to focus on a few tried and true recipes that my family loves, things that I can batch cook and grab without overthinking, especially on busy days. And if that means that we eat the same things on repeat, so be it. This season is clearly about simplicity over variety. With that in mind, I made a batch of these simple chickpea truffles. The recipe is by Lovely Delights. I'll leave the link in the description. Luckily, I already had all the ingredients on hand, and they were perfect to grab throughout the week as a quick bite before heading out the door or squeezing in a workout.
So my youngest loves to ask for bananas as a snack, and she'll either take 1 or 2 bites out of them, or she'll wait until we peel them and then say that she's changed her mind. So I just throw them into these freezer bags so that they don't go to waste. And so all this week I've been using them to make a post-workout breakfast smoothie. So I thought I would just go ahead and show you that.
I'm trying to lean into more of with my ADHD is following my impulses when they are helpful. So for example, I have my veggie broth that I want to get going. I literally just finished a workout. I was telling myself like, no, I should really go upstairs and take a shower and get dressed up and like then do my veggie broth, but I need this for my recipe later tonight. And I know myself, and I know that if I were to go and take a shower and get dressed and like fully get ready before starting on this, I probably wouldn't get around to doing this until it's too late or at all, and I'd have to do something else, likely get takeout. So I'm following my impulse. I got it in my head to get this on the stove now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and then at least I know I will have it for soup later on.
The next thing I learned, buying frozen seafood is probably not the move for me. I'm basically the only one who eats it anyway, which explains why there is so much of it piled in the freezer. We have fish sticks and cod and shrimp, but since we're trying to eat more plant-based anyway, I used it up by making these super yummy shrimp foil packs for my lunches. And moving forward, I'm just gonna skip this section at the grocery store entirely. And finally, while I don't exactly love cooking meals, I do really enjoy baking. It's easier to do with my kids. They love it too, and it's such a cozy, relaxing way to spend time together. So I decided to revive my sourdough starter. This poor thing, I am so inconsistent with it, and tried my hand at a chocolate sourdough recipe I've had my eye on. Honestly, it was just okay. It didn't blow me away, but my kids really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun trying something new. Also, before anybody judges my sourdough crumb, I know. My proof definitely needs work. I'm still very much a beginner, so if you've got tips, please feel free to send them my way. I'm definitely going to keep experimenting. While things like meal planning, food prep, and even remembering to sit down and eat might never come easily to me, Week 1 of Project Pantry has me feeling hopeful that someday they might at least be enjoyable. This week I used up bags of frozen bananas, seafood, and veggie scraps, cleared space in the freezer, rekindled my love of baking, and learned to prioritize simplicity over variety in future meal planning. Well, that is 1 week of Project Pantry down. I have cleared out so much room in my freezer, and I have to say, as a neurodivergent mom, this was actually super helpful in the fact that like I didn't have to do so much work on my end to think up different meals to make throughout the week. Just seeing what my parameters were, what I actually had on hand, made it so much easier for me to do any meal planning. So I definitely appreciate Project Pantry for that alone. Now that I've tackled the freezer, I think I'm gonna give this guy a break. As you can see, our fridge is well loved and
probably use a break. And I think next I want to tackle one of the shelves in my pantry. So that'll be the next episode. So if you want to follow along with that journey, make sure you're subscribed and let me know what is your favorite go-to low waste recipe in the comments. And speaking of low waste, I'm going to be back next week with a very cute and cozy video where we are exploring the art of everyday magic through seasonal living. I'm going to bring you along with me as I am focusing on secondhand and handmade gifts, Christmas decor, Yuletime treats, baking, all the comfy cozy stuff while I'm boycotting a lot of big box stores this year, and also just evaluating my personal relationship with not only consumerism but my own creativity. I cannot wait to share that episode with you, but until then, I love you and appreciate you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I would love to know what you got up to while we were hanging out. Like, did you make a recipe? Did you eat lunch? Did you enjoy your break from work? Did you get your dishes done? Anyway, again, thank you for watching, and as always, stay magical, my love. Bye.
Oh, wrong pipe.
I don't even know what to say.
Oh my gosh. Hot. Oh, don't mind me, just spilling all over the place. Okay. Oh god.